and gentlemen, please welcome Senior Vice President Lenovo and President of EMEA, Francois Bornibus.
Good evening to all of you, and welcome to Lenovo Tech Live. Thank you to all the media, influencers that we have here today in the room, but also on the web stream, on the live stream. And we have really a representation from all the different countries in the world. So thank you very much to be with us tonight. We are very fortunate to have you. 2 weeks ago, Lenovo announced our first quarter financial results, and they were very strong. With the company growing 19% year-on-year, a very strong profitability, and this across all our different products, whether the products are PCs, phones, infrastructure, and servers. But we are here at IFA, and we'll not talk about financial results, but we'll talk more specifically about our smart device range of products. Smart device for Lenovo is a very wide range of products. It's PCs, notebook, desktop workstations, tablets, phones, of course, but also a range of new devices that we have been launching and that we will launch tonight. One key theme, which is in the DNA of Lenovo, is innovation. That is our DNA. One example of innovation took place a few years ago here at IFA, when we launched our Yoga range. It was the first convertible in the industry. And convertible became a form factor in the PC industry. We have been innovating this new form factor for the industry. Innovation for us, it means three things. It's innovation for a sense of purpose. It's not just the sake of innovation, but it's thinking with our customer requirements in mind about what kind of technology we can bring to them to facilitate their life, their work. And that's the example, for example, of the Yoga convertible. Of course, the second thing is innovation helps us to differentiate versus our competition. And our range of smart devices is very differentiated versus our competition. And the third element of innovation, it's empowering our customers by delivering tomorrow's technology today. And that's what we are going to focus on. With this, thank you again to all of you to be with us tonight. And I would like to ask Anjana on stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Francois. As Francois just mentioned, we want to give our consumers tomorrow's technology today. However, we must admit that the technology industry has promised to transform the future multiple times over. I think most of you in this room and on the broadcast would agree that everyone is calling their devices smart, when in fact, they're simply connected. This is a huge issue for consumers. The abundance of devices makes it confusing. How they're meant to interconnect is not extremely clear. And most importantly, whether they deliver consumer value is a question. For us, innovation is not just about a smart moniker. It's about using intelligence to inform and adapt, to create something with purpose. It's not about what it is, it's about what it can do. And ultimately, it's about making devices that are simpler to use, more engaging, and more productive for our consumers. This is an ethos that strings our entire portfolio along, be it a smartphone or a laptop. Let's take a look at how we do, starting with the PC. When we look at how we re-engineer a PC, we go back to the drawing board and relook at every single element. How it opens, how it closes, how it sounds, how it types. we review every single component that goes into the PC to make sure it's delivering value to our consumer. You'll hear from us later today how we've reimagined the user experience on two of our most flagship products, the ThinkPad X1 and the Lenovo Yoga. Let's now turn to look at smartphones. Just a few weeks ago, we delivered a world's first when we launched the world's first 5G upgradable smartphone. We launched a 5G mod for our Moto Z3 together with our partner, Verizon in the US, which will be in markets early next year. We're future-proofing our phones for the next big experience jump that's about to happen. Real, tangible, meaningful addition to your smartphone experience. We're also incredibly proud of our achievements in the world of AR. You might remember we launched the Star Wars Jedi Challenges product here last year. Finally, Star Wars fans and gamers around the world were able to feel how it feels to wield the power of a lightsaber and be a Jedi. A great example of making a product more engaging. So as you can see, transformation is a key theme for us. We believe we have a unique perspective on this global industry, given our broadest portfolio of devices and a data center business that powers the networks of most of these. So without much further ado, let me now hand you over to our product experts, who will take you through the exciting announcements we have lined up for tonight. Ali and Kevin, come on up.
Thank you, love. Wow, I'd like to walk into every moment of my life with music exactly like that. So I heard that you guys are interested in hearing what's new, is that right? Yeah, okay, so we've got you covered. So whether it's consumer or commercial products, we always start the same way. It's about the user, their needs, pain points, and desires. I'm sure you've heard this before. But the trick is, if you want to create a product that has purposeful innovation, and something that'll be relevant 2 years down the road when it announces at IFA, you don't start with users' needs, pain points, and desires. You study people. You study industry and global trends. And I'm not talking about what's trending on the internet. I'm not talking about what's hot this year. I'm talking about users' actual lifestyles. This is the only way you may have a chance that you could predict any significant changes in behavior that are on the horizon. If you want to create products that are relevant in 2 years when they come out, but will also fit seamlessly into these users' lifestyles and improve their overall experiences. So I want to walk you through 3 of these global trends. Now, obviously, there's a lot more of them. But I think that these 3 will resonate with you, and then you're also going to hear them duplicated through all of the products that we talk about today. So first is natural inputs. Now, this is designing for people, right? It goes back to that. We're all human. If you're not, please raise your hand because I want to talk to you afterwards. I got one. But that natural human engagement, that's what creates a connection with a device. That's what creates desire, and it makes you comfortable. Makes sense, right? Next is privacy and security. Now, to me, this should be a requirement, not just a desire. But we're on board with some very simple but meaningful solutions to create peace of mind. The last one is my favorite. Users are rightfully expecting a drastic increase in entertainment. That means audio and visual quality and experience. And we've prepared ourselves for this by partnering with one of the industry's best, and I cannot wait to unveil that to you. But before I do, I'm going to hand it off to Kevin to take you through ThinkPad, and I'll be back shortly to talk to you about yoga.
All right, thank you very much, Ali. I'm going to assume that everyone in the building is familiar with our ThinkPad line. But just to take you through a little bit of history, for 26 years, we have viewed ThinkPad as really a clinic of customer feedback. And it's a product that's been dedicated from day one to business success and business productivity. We've sold 140 million ThinkPads in the last 26 years, making it the best-selling business laptop of all time. So the way we look at it in a very real way, the experiences and the ideas of those hundreds of millions of users are embodied in every ThinkPad that we make. But just to be clear, within the ThinkPad line, there's a hierarchy, right? We have a number of different series, and among them all, X1 is considered to be the highest expression of business computing. Now, to understand what we think is so special about our new product, let me explain a little bit about what we mean by business computing. There's a classic view that business computers, rightfully, have to focus on security, manageability, durability, serviceability, right? And then there's also sort of been a view, or maybe even a suspicion among some people, that if you did all of those things, then somehow you were paying a little less attention, or maybe compromising on the more human factors, the things that Ali talked about, things like sight, sound, touch, and speech. Now, if such a divide ever existed, I'm here to tell you that as of today, it no longer does. The product that I'm here to tell you about today, we think represents the best balance and excellence that we've ever made in a ThinkPad. And when we were talking about what to name it, we thought that it really needed a name that embodied these qualities that we worked so long and hard to put in it. And that's why we decided to call it the ThinkPad X1 Extreme. So this, my friends and colleagues, is the X1 Extreme. So this is, first of all, the first 15-inch X1 we've ever made, 4K screen with Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos sound. It's the first X1 we've ever made with discrete graphics, in this case, a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti, thin, light, 1.7 kilos, 18.4 millimeters, touch, pen, and all of the other security, manageability, durability, and serviceability feature I mentioned earlier that make a ThinkPad truly a ThinkPad. Now, when we were looking at this name, to give you a little more background, we really thought about what's the definition of extreme. And, of course, the first definition of this is reaching the highest degree. Right? And we thought that very much embodied what we were looking to do in this product. Because as we look, as Ali said, at our user set, we realize that the lines are blurring. Things that people want in their private life absolutely do not need to be in any sort of contention with what IT managers are requiring. So all of those things that I talked about, the 4K screen, the Dolby Atmos, the Dolby Vision, the 8th gen Intel Core i processor up to an i9, all of these things enable the human and end user side of the enjoyment of the product, but also keep classic IT managers and their concerns very, very happy. And we think that this is going to be a PC that companies are going to want to give to their best talent, and something that their best talent is going to demand. Now, there's also a second meaning to extreme, and we think that this is embodied in the product as well. It can also mean furthest from the center or from a given point. And for us, this is the furthest we've ever taken a ThinkPad. This was a project long in development that ultimately ended up, again, as I said, in what we think is the best and most extreme ThinkPad that we've ever made. So it really embodies, as I said, the ideas and the experiences of our users, all of whom help to make ThinkPad the best-selling business laptop of all time. So in EMEA, the ThinkPad X1 Extreme will start at €1,695 and will be available in September. I'm going to hand it back over to Ali.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good.
We love this product.
Do that at the end of mine, too, okay? So like Kevin said, ThinkPad has a very strong legacy. When you design a product like that, that's that great, you build on it to continually make it better. Now, sometimes products start, even when it's a next generation product, they start in a different way. They start with what we like to call a clean sheet of paper. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is fun for designers to start like this. But it's also a really good test. Nothing is sacred. When you clean the table, if anything comes back, then you know it was good. So before I walk you through all the cool features of our next generation Yoga, I got to give you a brief history. About 6 years ago, Lenovo invented the first 360-degree 2-in-1 convertible form factor to enable different usage modes, like laptop, stand, tent, and tablet, for more flexibility, and we called it Yoga. Since then, there have been many adaptations in the industry. Rightfully so. It's a cool feature, right? but none of which, including our own, expanded on innovation beyond the hinge functionality and created more value in those different modes. So it was time for us to raise the bar again. We studied and observed people that had existing convertibles about how and why they were using them. What we found was that people bought these convertibles for the novelty of the function. It's almost like four-wheel drive, but they would keep it primarily in laptop mode. I wonder why. Could it be that when it belongs in or when it is in notebook mode, it looks like it actually belongs that way, but when you flip it into tablet mode, it looks like a broken laptop? So we challenged ourselves to put equal consideration on both modes, to balance the form and the function, to ultimately deliver a great tablet, laptop, and everything in between. So that covers a little bit how we started with the form of it, but let's talk about the function and how we incorporated these industry trends that I talked about earlier. So the most natural human way to engage with something is voice, no matter which mode you're in, right? So the Yoga C930 is going to be equipped with Cortana and Alexa. So take this guy, for example. If you have your device sitting on the other side of the table, it's flipped in stand mode, so you don't have access to your keyboard or your touchpad, what's going to be the most natural way to interact with it? Your voice. Talk to it. So Lenovo has put far-range mics that can hear your commands up to 4 meters away. So when it comes to physical inputs, obviously we put everything we've got into a great keyboard and great touchpad experience. But remember I said we want to elevate the tablet mode as well. So we knew that we had to address the pen. So in the past, we've supported Active Pen for writing, sketching, and annotating in Windows Ink. But an often overlooked element is actually having the pen when you need it. Also, making sure that it's charged, along with every other device in your life that you have to charge. So the Yoga C930, get this, includes a garaged pen that stows right by the hinge, and it charges there as well. So in tablet mode, you now have all of the tools that you need. So as we continued studying people, surprisingly, personal privacy didn't really come up as a pain point. Instead, we observed people putting tape or stickers over their camera. In fact, I'm one of them that does that, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in it. So we created a very simple but meaningful solution. It's a small piece of hardware that you slide to cover your camera lens. We're calling it the True Block camera shutter. It's seamlessly integrated in the bumper right above your glass, so it doesn't impede any of your visuals, but it creates that peace of mind. So because of that, I came up with this marketing phrase for it, which is a small piece that creates peace of mind. And I'm pretty sure that's why they haven't let me into marketing. So we're on to my favorite trend, audio and visual. So the display, we know in the past, has been like the #1 pain point. But it's also the center of focus, no matter which mode you're in. So in order to deliver our users content with brilliance and clarity, the Yoga C930 has a 13.9-inch ultra-wide up to 4K display. Sounds great, right? But wait, there's more. We've added Dolby Vision. So at this point, it has more definition in low-light situations and more vivid colors. It's beautiful, right? So I told you that we would talk about audio, too. And I have waited so long, about 2.5 years, to talk to you about this next feature. But first, I'm going to calm myself down for a second. I'm going to give you a background on how it came to be. So we all know that the hinge is responsible for transitioning into different modes. So we noticed an inherent relationship between this beautiful display and the hinge. Both were always user-facing. Seemed like the perfect opportunity to marry sight and sound. So are you ready for this? We made the hinge into a dynamic audio device that's always user-facing. Yeah, take pictures of it, because it's awesome. It's actually tuned with software to perform differently depending on the mode, so that you have the maximum sound quality. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, it was not easy, but it was totally worth it. We worked closely with the Dolby engineering team to create custom-designed tweeters so we could pack all that sound into that small space. We balanced it with woofers in the bass that use surface reflections to create a wider sound stage. We're calling it the rotating soundbar with Dolby Atmos speaker system. So talk about audio and visual. This will be the industry's first product that has a Dolby Atmos speaker system and Dolby Vision in one device. So I've shown you all of the cool features. Are you guys actually ready to see it at this point?
And here you go.
Thank you so much. True do. Yeah. So I want to introduce you to the Yoga C930. It's our most premium laptop yet. It has it all: the Garage Pen, the TrueBlock privacy shutter, rotating soundbar with Dolby Atmos speaker system, and Dolby Vision in an up to 4K display. But that's not all. It also has an 8th gen Intel Core i7 processor on Windows 10 and 14.5 hours of battery life in FHD. From the beginning, we knew that we had to create a product that had more meaning, and it would be more useful to users and improve their experiences overall. I think we did it. It'll be available next month for $14.99. So sit tight. I know that you want me to just drop the mic and we all run in there and you can listen to it. Sit tight for a second. We're going to take a step back here, and we've got a lot more cool products to take you through. So taking a step back, remember I told you that yoga was created around the flexibility in these different usage modes, right? So the truth is, it's evolved into more than that over the last 6 years or so. Now it stands for authenticity, premium experiences, and refined craftsmanship. So this year, we are expanding the Yoga brand to include other PC form factors that uphold that same level of quality and experience. So in addition to the Yoga C930, I would like to introduce you to the Yoga S730. The S stands for slim because it's 11.9 millimeters thin. It's our thinnest consumer clamshell laptop yet. And it's really built for the mobile lifestyle. It has the latest Intel Core i7 processor, and it'll be available in October for $9.99. All right, Kevin, are you ready to round out our yoga story with the last two?
I am.
Got it, man.
I am. All right, in addition to these really fabulous products that Ali has told you about, I'm going to wrap it up with two more yoga products. The first one we'd like to talk about is the Yoga C630 Windows on Snapdragon. This is going to be the first always-on, always-connected PC with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 850 platform. And what does that mean for our end users? That means an always-on, always-connected 4.5G LTE experience, and most crucially, 25-plus hours of battery life. It's the first yoga we've ever had where we're talking about battery life in days, not in hours. And it's going to be available in November, starting at €9.99. Now, I know that there's something that many of you have been anticipating for the last 2 years. As Francois mentioned, we announced a little product here a couple years ago called the Yoga Book. Now, it was groundbreaking for us. It has some never before seen features like a Halo keyboard and a dual-use stylus that was meant to enhance productivity. Now, what have we done in the last 2 years? As Ali said, we spent a long time looking at the people who used it and listening to how they used it, what they thought about it, and how they thought we could improve it. One very interesting thing that jumped out at us, is that turns out about 73% of the folks who used it in laptop mode most of the time. Now, they did very much appreciate the thinness and lightness, but they wanted more power, they wanted more multitasking, and they wanted more interaction with the screens. So what we came up with is, I think, one of the more interesting products that we've ever made. The new Yoga Book C930. So as you can see here with Ali, the result is something that we think is going to allow users to focus more in more ways and at more times and in more places. It's a Core i5 ultra-thin fanless design with Windows 10. And I'm going to tell you about a couple of the really cool geeky engineering things that I love about this product. It is the world's first dual display laptop with e-ink. And as the name e-ink implies, it makes a fabulous e-reader. Flip it around and use it to read sorts of books or documents. But the e-ink screen is also pen-enabled. Sketching, drawing, note-taking directly on the screen. And one of my absolute favorite things, the self-learning keyboard. So now that the keyboard is actually in a screen, we've enabled it to be self-learning. So whether you're a touch typist or whether you tend to hunt and peck, it's going to learn that and it's going to adapt to it. And because it's in a screen, we can now do haptic feedback, as well as audio feedback, as well as visual feedback on the typing experience. And the thing I love about it, for those of you, and I suspect there are many in Europe who live in bilingual households, is that because the keyboard is in the screen, it can instantly adapt and become one of 30 different language keyboards. The German, Japanese, Thai, Arabic, and 26 other languages. So imagine you've basically got what at one point in time would have taken 30 different laptops to do all in one slim, light package. Now, lastly, but absolutely not leastly, something that our engineers came up with when they were studying the usability of this product. So they realized that in something this thin, with the tolerances machined as tightly as they are, that for the majority of folks who don't have longer fingernails, it was going to be a bit hard to open. Everybody familiar with an accelerometer? Just a fancy name for a motion detector. Memory metal is a type of metal that when you put electricity into it, moves back to its original shape. And you may remember from your elementary school classes that when you take magnets and you arrange them south to north and north to south, they attract one another. But when they go north to north or south to south, they repel one another. So the knock to open feature, quite simply, uses the accelerometer to trigger memory metal, which pulls a magnet out of attractive alignment into repulsive alignment and instantly pops the system open. It's actually really, really cool. And as you might imagine, this took a long time to fine-tune. We didn't want it to open if you happen to knock on the table. So getting the sensitivity, and back to that word again, balance, getting that right took a while, but here you have it, folks, the YogaBook C930. An e-ink dual display and an improved keyboard, great performance, and we think it's really for anyone, from business professionals to students, sales agents, designers, everybody's going to find this useful. So it's a product for us that we think is, as I said, going to let more people get more things done in more places. And that ultimately is what we're trying to do with our technology, to enable and empower the world. In EMEA, the YogaBook C930 will be available in September, and will start at 999 euros. All right, Allie? Yeah? It's been a long ride. But our part is done, and now we're going to hand it back over to our dear friend Anjana. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Before we talk about the next set of product announcements, let's take a step back and think about the concept of time. I'm sure the phrase, "too much to do in too little time," is a familiar one. Everybody, everywhere, seems busy. Be it the corporate types or busy parents, the time famine issue seems to affect everyone. This is my family's calendar for any given week. Between the hectic work schedules of my husband and I, my 17-month-old toddler's extremely active schedule of play dates, music classes, Mandarin classes. Yes, I said Mandarin classes because that's what it takes for a 1-year-old to get ahead these days. It's everything that we can do to keep up. It's this all-pervading time famine issue of modern humankind that has inspired us with the vision that drives our smart home business. We want to help simplify our consumers' lives, enable better multitasking, make their lives more manageable through our smart home products. Our very first entry into this market, the Lenovo Smart Display, launched in the US in July of this year, and early reception has been great. Beyond the sales numbers that we're extremely proud of, the reception from industry and consumers alike has been amazing. We thank this group for contributing to that. We're happy you like the Lenovo Smart Display. And we can see why. Speaking as a consumer, I've been using the Lenovo Smart Display at home for a few months now, and I can see multiple times in the day when it has a benefit to my family. The hands-free assistance lets me effectively multitask, be it the morning routines that help get our day started, or the step-by-step cooking instructions that I get as I'm cooking, or the treasure trove of how-to videos on YouTube that help me take the wax of the shag carpet, or the stain of the white shirt, or the chewing gum of the hair, all challenges I've grappled with in my recent life. I love that I can call my mom when I need parenting wisdom, and believe me, I need hands-free assistance at that point. I love that I can fire up Spotify just that 1 second before all hell is about to break loose and play up a nursery rhymes playlist in time to save the day. I wish I could put all this in an ad. It would be a long ad, but it would be a good one. What I love most about all of this is that it's all seamless. It happens without disrupting the flow. That's exciting. I think it's fair to say that the Lenovo Smart Display has changed my routines. Based on an initial survey with our consumers, we found that over 60% use it more than 5 times a day, and over 44% claim that it has changed their routines. We believe that consumer indicators, consumer metrics, are leading indicators to a category's adoption, and these metrics sound super promising to us. The Lenovo Smart Display, we liken the advancement of going from smart speakers to smart assistants to be like going from radio to TV. It's the natural evolution of the Google experience, from typing to speaking to combining voice and sight. And much like how it was when we went from radio to TV, the world of smart assistants is about to get a whole lot more immersive. The Lenovo Smart Display is coming next to UK and Australia in October of 2018. It'll be available at AO.com, John Lewis, JB Hi-Fi, Harvey Norman, Officeworks, to name a few key retailers. Please stay tuned as we announce more details in the coming few weeks. And that brings me to our main announcement of the night. The starting point for our smart home category was a desire to simplify our consumers' lives. The Lenovo Smart Display fits in nicely with that vision, but clearly, it's just the beginning. Based on conversations with consumers and the rapid adoption of smart home products, we saw an opportunity to expand our device portfolio, to go from core devices that enable better multitasking to an ecosystem of devices that get into the realm of home control. Introducing our first few products in this category, the Lenovo Smart Camera, the Smart Plug, the Smart Bulb, and the Lenovo Link app. We believe 3 things need to happen to improve consumer experience in this category. 1, we need to make it easy to choose. If you're not a tech-savvy consumer today, you're perhaps faced by the mountain of choice in terms of product available to you. Lenovo will be your one-stop shop for all things smart home. We have the core devices, we'll have the ecosystem of products. 2, we need to make it easy to control. For those of you brave enough to wade in, your experience with smart home products today is fragmented across vendors. It's not simple, it's not intuitive, it's not seamless. The Lenovo Link app will be the one app that rules them all. It'll underpin the entire Lenovo offering. And 3, we need to make it simple to set up. You'll see from our hardware that we focused on plug and play, that you don't need a huge investment if you want to get started in the world of smart home. Buy a bulb and you're ready to go. We believe smart homes are for everyone. And we think the simplicity and holistic nature of this offering will deliver truly broad consumer value. Let's take a look at some of the use cases these products can enable. Starting with the Smart Plug. Imagine anything that you can do when you can control an appliance remotely. Imagine in the winter months, you're coming back home, and as you're in the car, you're able to power up your oven or your slow cooker, warm up your dinner, maybe even make a hot cuppa, so you're coming back home to a warm meal and a warm tea. Moving on to the Smart Bulb. This works best when you can control multiple bulbs in one single action. Imagine that you can turn on lights all over your home by simply clicking a button. Or you can set up a routine where all the lights in your home can go off at a preset time at every given night. Moving on to the smart camera. What if you could check into your home when you're thousands of miles away from it, away on a business trip, like you are today? Or if you're at home and you're cooking in the kitchen, you want to check on your little one, or your animal, or your basement while you're cooking, just by checking out your smart display. The smart camera will enable that. And as you can see from these demos, all of these products are enabled through the single Lenovo Link app. So as a consumer on the lookout to smartify your home, you no longer have to log into multiple discrete apps to control different aspects of your home. Lenovo Link will be your one-stop shop. And it's 3 devices today. Over time, it is our goal that we add many more that can be controlled through this one app. Let's look at a few key hardware points of these devices, starting with the smart plug. It's got a compact form factor, has override protection, is smart, it's idle when not in use, and it has a hardware on and off button, so if you want peace of mind, you know it's truly turned off. And then the smart bulb. My most favorite thing about this bulb is that it's simply plug and play. You don't need a hub to get things started. Beyond that, it's dimmable, it's customizable should you want yellow or white light, and has 4 preset scenes. So if you want daylight, night light, reading light, candle light, we've got you covered. And finally, the smart camera. It has full HD video, which has a super wide angle. It has pan, tilt, and zoom. It has 2-way audio, so you can hear and speak into it. It has night vision, motion sensor, and playback ability. Of course, all of these can be voice-controlled, remote-controlled, and programmable, by which I mean you can set up routines, or scenes, as we like to call them, that can combine individually or multiple into one action. This is where you truly start to see the benefits of a smart home. They will both work with Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa, and will be available starting November this year in the US at the prices shown above. That brings me to an end of our smart home announcements for the night. I will now hand the stage over to young Wahid Razali, who will take us from the comfort of home to a galaxy far, far away. Wahid, take it away.
When we first announced Star Wars Jedi Challenge in November 2017, it quickly became the #1 augmented reality headset. It's been receiving thousands of reviews at an average rating of above 4 stars. We've also made it better, not once but twice, with 2 major updates: the Episode 8 expansion and the multiplayer mode. Well, tonight, we have more. With Disney, we are proud to announce our 3rd major update to Star Wars Jedi Challenge, the Dark Side expansion. For the first time ever, fans will be able to play as the most powerful villain in the galaxy, Kylo Ren himself. They'll face legendary Jedi Masters in the likes of Rey and Yoda. We're bringing 3 new duelists, each of them of 3 levels of difficulty, for an extra 6 to 8 hours of gameplay. But that is not all. For the biggest fans, we're bringing a limited edition Kylo Ren lightsaber. This limited edition, limited quantity Kylo Ren lightsaber has been crafted with the utmost attention to details. From the coloring of it, the tarnishing, and the apparent cables, the red and the blue that we've all seen in the recent movies. It's compatible with all of your Star Wars Jedi Challenge content, and will take your augmented reality gaming to the next level. Let's see it in action. In summary, we're announcing tonight two things to support our augmented reality efforts. On the one hand, the Dark Side expansion, coming to all users of Star Wars Jedi Challenge for free in November. On the other hand, the limited edition Kylo Ren lightsaber, also coming in November for a lucky few at $99 in the United States. With that, I'll ask Anjana to come back to the stage. Thank you.
Oh, I don't need that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our announcements of the night. To summarize what you saw from us, the world's first laptop with a rotating soundbar that's powered by the Dolby Atmos speaker system. The world's first dual display laptop with e-ink. The most powerful X1 yet, the X1 Extreme. Smart home products that go beyond smart display and get into the realm of home control. And the third expansion to our AR gaming franchise with the Dark Side expansion and the limited edition Kylo Ren lightsaber. Intelligent transformation in every single category. And now for the fun part. When I get off, the gates will open. And beyond these gates, you'll find products. PCs, phones, smart home, and AR game pods where you can get your game on. Don't forget to go downstairs, because we've got spaces for you to be able to take high-fidelity video and imagery of our products. Most importantly, there's food and drink. Please make sure you spend time with our products, ask us questions, and enjoy your time with us for the rest of this evening. Thank you very much for making the time, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.